The birth of agency. Reflections from the road to character. Dear Amelia Emberhart, are you feeling grounded during this fall season? There are moments in life when something shifts dramatically. This is the agency moment. David Brooks gestures toward in The Road to Character. The instant a person stops being blown about by the voids of others and begins to live according to her own inner criteria. From this birth of agency comes cohesion, conviction, and at times astonishing courage. The fragility of agency. Why it must be born, not assumed. Agency is not automatic. It does not fall into our laps at 18 or 30 or even at 65. It must be born, and like all births, it requires struggle. Among the disadvantaged, we see the effects of its absence, a sense that destiny lies outside their control, that no amount of striving will alter the outcome. Among the privileged, the lack takes a different form, a busy passivity. The privileged young often look active, energetic, endlessly achieving, yet behind the achievements hides a hollowness. Their lives are scripted by other people's expectations, driven by definitions of success that do not fit them, and beneath all the motion lies a strange inertia. Fear of missing out and the scattering of the soul, losing the power of no. The modern world feeds this hollowness. A frantic fear of missing out pushes us to seize every opportunity, sample every experience, say yes to every product, and cram life with endless commitments. The result is a scattered existence. Instead of a life organized around one great purpose, we become tacticians of the trivial, cautiously making half commitments to dozens of things, never surrendering fully to one overwhelming yes. We lose the ability to say no, and without no, there can be no real yes. When life is organized around one's own wants, others become objects instrumental to the pursuit of self-satisfaction. But lust begins in a void and ends in a void. Without the willingness to serve others and build genuine relationships, emptiness persists, gnawing and unsatisfied. The wrong desires, when the heart betrays the mind. Part of the difficulty lies in our misaligned desires. We crave fame, money, status, things that rarely make us happy. Still, we chase them knowing they disappoint. We tell ourselves we should choose differently, yet reach for the wrong choice again and again. We understand our long-term interests, yet sabotage them for short-term pleasures. To know what is good is not enough. The heart must be trained to desire it. The illusion of self-reform. Why willpower alone fails. Faced with this tension, many people approach life as if it were a school project. Read the right books, apply the right techniques, follow the right habits, collect promotions and degrees. We imagine we can gradually reform ourselves by sheer will. But can we? If willpower were enough, one resolution, one diet, one self-help book would solve us forever. The truth is sobering. We are rarely honest with ourselves. Our own will cannot fully police us. And no matter how disciplined we become, the environment and other people remain beyond our control. Pride's trap, the fragile fortress of reputation. Even deeper lies the trap of pride. Pride blends extreme self-confidence with extreme anxiety, leaving us both egoistical and fragile. The proud person seeks worth through reputation, grasping for applause, yet remains dependent on the unstable crowd. Every victory is temporary, every affirmation fleeting. The cure is not to chase more approval, but to rise to higher choice, to say no to lesser pleasures in order to open oneself to greater ones. The outward turn, fulfillment through self-forgetfulness. The way forward, Brooke suggests, is outward. If you try to impress, you rarely will. If you set out to be original, you almost certainly won't. If you strive directly for peace or holiness, these things will elude you. They come obliquely as byproducts of self-forgetfulness. When your energies are directed towards something larger than yourself, a task, a craft, a relationship, a cause, fulfillment is not seized, it is received in the act of giving yourself away. The discipline of depth, facing the truth within. This outwardness requires depth. It means seeking self-respect rather than the crowd's applause. Anyone can play her role on the stage of life, but the real work is inward, to be disciplined within. This demands ruthless honesty, the willingness to face unpleasant truths about oneself without rationalizing them away. And when we do, we inevitably find nonsense. But acknowledging that nonsense is itself an act of courage. To strive with difficulties and to conquer them is the highest human felicity, Brooks reminds us. The next best is to strive and desire to conquer, even if the victory never comes. But to drift through life without contests, without the struggle to grow, is to reduce existence to filler. Against the Adam 1 culture, success without soul. Our culture, Brooks argues, trains us toward Adam 1, a life built on external success, resumes, and applause. It fosters approval-seeking machines, endlessly busy, measured by achievements, yet often shallow. It promotes the illusion of linear progression, encouraging us to coast on talent and minimal commitment, never asking why we are doing what we do. But Adam 1 alone is not enough. Without the agency moment, without soul commitment, humility, and depth, the outward achievements ring hollow. The call to agency, from drift to declaration. The agency moment is always waiting. It may come in youth or in later life, or not at all. But when it comes, it feels like both vulnerability and assertion, both plea and declaration. It is the moment of engraving inner criteria, of saying no to lesser desires, of orienting one's life not around drift or applause, but around something larger, truer, and more enduring. This is the road to character, to move beyond the crowd's approval, beyond shallow desires, beyond the illusion of control, and to live from within, in service, in courage, in truth. This is your moment. Take command and show us the path.